For our special presentation tonight, I'm going to invite our City Manager, Drew Powers, and our Finance Director, John Adams, to the podium. We're recognizing John's service to the city, 12 years. He'll be leaving the city for a new adventure, and so we're very, very pleased to honor his great service to our community. Mr. Powers.
A bit of a bittersweet evening for us as we recognize our longtime finance director, John Adams, who will be heading off to new endeavors up in San Francisco, where he's the new CFO for the California State Bar. So we're very proud of him for that accomplishment, but we're obviously sad to see him go. John's been a fixture on our executive team for many years, been with the organization for about 12 years. John has his thumbprints on some of the most important actions the council has taken over the course of the last decade. And in large part, you have John to thank for many of the recent actions. I think most namely, as we were referencing yesterday with him as the executive team was acknowledging him, the action to stabilize our PERS accounts and those actions that you took back in July, that was in large part to John's leadership. His efforts he followed in the tenure of Candace Hong and Bob Berry, two long-serving finance directors, and as John likes to say yesterday, Mayor Fox always references that he's his third favorite finance director over the course of those years that you've been here. But I know many of John's finance department colleagues and executive colleagues are here this evening. We had a little fun with him yesterday in roasting some of his more memorable moments here. We'll spare the audience that, since we have an agenda to get to. But we wanted to take a moment here in all seriousness to recognize John, his tremendous contributions to the organization. We have a proclamation for him. And I'll just read the first portion. John Adams, who dedicated over 12 years of service to the city and citizens of Thousand Oaks. He was hired in 2006 as a deputy finance director, promoted to finance director in July of 2009. He's served as a past president of the California State Municipal Finance Officers Association, been on multiple League of California Cities committees, and chaired one of the Visioning 2064 committees. His focus on long-term financial sustainability for the city has been a guiding principle and have served the residents of Thousand Oaks well. I know John's got a few things to say, but I wanted to give the council an opportunity to share anything that they had first.
We most certainly will. Let me start on the end with Mr. Adam, and then we'll just work our way down.
Thank you, Mayor. Hey, John. So you're definitely leaving at the top of your game. You really are, and you've been leaving the city in great shape, and you have had a lot to do with that. I've been around long enough to understand that. Through your advice, as Drew pointed out, we've been able to help our theaters out. We've been able to keep our streets in great shape. Our pension stabilization fund, it was your idea. It's going to save the taxpayers millions of dollars in the long run, and that's something you've done for all of us. And most important, over the years, you've avoided the pitfalls that a lot of other CFOs in different cities have managed to ensnare themselves in. Risky investments, overly generous pensions. You've steered clear of all that and kept the budget very clean. I mean, I'm in Finance Audit Committee. We get a stellar grade every time, and I've been on it for 6 years now. And you and your staff have gotten some great awards because of that, and that speaks to your leadership and to the great people that you surround yourself with. And so you're going to San Francisco, right?
I am.
Okay, so every time the Dodgers beat the Giants,
I'll be there.
I'll think of you. And every time the Rams beat the Niners, I'll think of you, Chad.
Or Oakland.
Or Oakland, yeah, that too. So anyway, it's been great working with you. It really has, and I appreciate all you've done for the city. I wish you a tremendous amount of luck in your new endeavor.
All right, thank you, Al.
Mr. Price.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Not too many people get to work side by side with their father, and I think those 12 years you've spent working with your father at the helm here has probably been memorable for you. I had hoped to be able to address your wife tonight, but
No.
Ms. Adams, are you here?
She's watching on TV.
Oh, okay.
She
Thank you.
specifically asked me what channel.
Yeah,
So,
I don't.
with the other 18 million
And you
people.
probably told her 11, didn't you? Now, we had a little fun with that last night as well, and
You did.
I hope that tonight you can actually go home and sleep at home tonight. But because I understand she missed the
She missed-
other events that were held for you
Yes,
in your
she
honor.
did, and that was my fault.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, as I mentioned last night, as a member of the National League of Cities, I get to tout Thousand Oaks, and when I first became active at the National League there, I didn't think that anybody knew where the city of Thousand Oaks was. But nothing could be further from the truth. They all know about the city of Thousand Oaks, and it is because of its well-run, well-managed, its fiscally sound policies that they know about us. And that's in no small part due to your guidance, your mentorship. So I thank you for everything that you've done for the city of Thousand Oaks and its residents, of which you have been one. So
I have.
a little self-serving, but that's okay. So with that, thanks. I wish you all the best. And
Thank you very much.
again, do not go to any of the restaurants that our city manager suggested.
Got it.
See me for the list.
I've done that so far.
Mr. McCoy.
John, coming in as a rookie, especially when somebody's running for office, they hear about all the mismanagement of the city, and you have to run on the things that you feel the city is inappropriately doing. But then when you get on the council and you have a chance to see how the sausage is made, I guess is the best way to describe it, I realize what a remarkable city we have, in large part to your efforts. The sound physical condition of our city is directly responsible to your efforts. And I've learned so much from you, and I'm so grateful. I take great heart in knowing that you're going to be modeling sound physical responsibility to our future attorneys of the state. And so I ask God's richest blessings on you, and I thank you for your service to our city.
Thank you, Rob.
Ms. Bill De La Pena.
Thank you, Mayor Fox. Mr. Adams, John, I too echo the same sentiments. I wish you all the very best, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your contributions to the city. Indeed, Thousand Oaks is fiscally sound, and as our city manager mentioned, you know, your thumbprint is on this. Your last hurrah was saving the city and the taxpayers over $15 million in pension refinancing, so to speak, and that was thanks to you. You are leaving the city in great shape, and I hope that your new environment will be as much fun, if not more, so as Thousand Oaks has been and as we have been. So again, thank you very much. Thank you to your family, and I wish you the best of luck in San Francisco.
Thank you.
Okay. I think for those watching at home and some of the folks that are here tonight, from time to time we get an opportunity to talk about our outstanding city staff. And unfortunately, it's generally when they're going to leave and promote or go somewhere. And I echo all my colleagues' comments about John's expertise, his professionalism as a finance director. I think it's safe to say we would not be in the fiscal shape that we're in if we're not for John and all the members of the finance team. And I often kid him, he is my third favorite finance director because actually he stepped into some shoes, first with Candace Hong and then before that with Bob Berry, where we've had a history of strong financial management in our community. And certainly it starts with the folks in finance. But beyond that, John's a tremendous person. I've got to know him very well over the years, sitting on the committees and going to us like football games. It's been really a pleasure to getting to know him personally. He has a very dry, funny sense of humor. He is, I kid Miss Noonan all the time, she's always the smartest person in the room, unless John's there.
Thank you, Andy.
And then it's a little bit of a crapshoot, not quite sure, because he is brilliant. Not quite sure, based on that brilliance, you're leading a bunch of local council members to go work with a bunch of attorneys. I'm not quite sure is she going to hit me? Is anybody, is she
No.
going to hit me? Okay. So I'm not quite sure the wisdom there, but we do wish you the best. And as you said the other day, it's not goodbye. You're just going to a different place. And I'm sure our paths will cross again, but it's been a pleasure knowing you. Really, really, we have been a blessed community because of your service. So thank you.
Thank you. I jokingly told Tracy that going up to State Bar, now it's me against lots of attorneys, and it's a fair fight. So,
Exactly. Right.
Anyway, this is amazing. I have been blessed and honored with your trust. And when you talk about that, to be the finance director and to follow footsteps of people like Candace and Bob, there's a certain expectation. And they have been supportive. I mean, Bob I talk to often, and he gives me great advice, and he's a dear friend. But the trust that you have given me as the treasurer and the finance director, and that means, I can't explain how much that means to me personally. And it's trying not to cry, or at least waterworks. And it was funny because I joked yesterday I might cry. So let me, it again has been amazing. Andy, you talked about the finance department. I have tremendous staff, and they are tremendous people. I have 100% confidence in that department to keep the mantle going. Jamie Boscarino, who will be the interim, is amazing. I worked with her 12 years. I have been impressed with her the whole time. And the city, we can talk about finance directors, but it is the leadership of the council. And Al talked about the Audit Finance Committee, and a lot of stuff has happened in the Audit Finance Committee that has given us that support and that vision. And you guys, and even past councils, when Andy talks about the history of past councils, we're at the place we are because of that history. And your leadership, the tone that you set at the top, and the ethics that you expect your staff to be employing, and the community service that you expect is just amazing. So it has been, I will tell you, just amazing to work for the city of Thousand Oaks. And I was telling Claudia this last night, it's a world-class organization. And not just are we envy, people in the county, at the state, and I think Joel even said at the national level. And that's because of the staff, and that's because of the council and the leadership. So with that, I do question the judgment of working with a bunch of attorneys. It will either be a great decision or maybe not the greatest decision. But it will be fun, and it isn't goodbye. It's just, I'll see you soon. So thank you very much for the opportunity to be your finance director, city treasurer. So thank you.
Congratulations, John.
Doesn't come for a picture, Alpha.
I didn't cry, right?
Nope.